Hey everyone, Walsh here from Thin Line Defense, and today I'm coming to you with what I think is going to be a controversial one. We're going to do a review of the Ryker Grip. For full disclosure, they did send us this Ryker Grip and Sling, which we'll do in a later video, for review purposes. They also gave us a discount code that we can use for our viewers. It's going to be code TLD10. I'll put it down in the description below and also put a link to their website if you decide after all these tests that you need one of these Ryker Grips. Now, before we get to that, as always, I want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. We do a lot of cool things over our Patreon channel. I try to give away a lot of our reviewed gear, so please consider becoming a Patreon member. You also have direct access to myself and the team if you decide to become a member. I also want to say thanks to everyone who likes, comments, and subscribes. I love to hear all your comments. I love when you get angry. I love when you get happy. I love when you get training tips, so please keep that coming. Alright, for now though, let's go ahead and take a look at that Ryker Grip. We're going to go and unbox it and set it up on the rifle. So here we have our Ryker Grip that was sent to us. You can see it in the packaging here. It looks really nice. See what all comes with it here. Okay, it looks like it comes with a tool and a picatinny mount. Let's go ahead and get it out of the packaging and take a better look at it. Just kind of peel this out of here. There we go. Alright, so we have the Ryker Grip, and it looks like it also comes with an Allen key so that you can use this to install it or switch it between the different mounts. So that's pretty cool. Let's set this over here. We don't need this packaging either. And then we have the actual Ryker Grip. It's currently set up for a right-handed shooter, so we need to move it, but I do want to feel how this feels in the hand. And even in my left hand, man, that does feel pretty good. I can't wait to switch this thing around though and see what it can do. Tell you what, let's grab the tools and let's swap it. Oh, I do like this design though. Check out this honeycomb. That is pretty cool. So here's the screw that we actually have to remove when we're going to switch this to the mlok grip and then switch the sides. So let's go ahead and do that now. Man, that does feel good though. Yeah. All right, let's check it out. So here's the mlok tool they sent us. So it's very similar to the other mount that's on there, the way that it attaches to the Ryker Grip, but it just has an mlok attachment point on the back. So to switch these out, all you got to do is remove the screw on the front of the Ryker Grip. So we'll go ahead and remove that screw now, and as you can see here, you just slide it out and then the picatinny mount comes off. The picatinny mount's really nice, as you can see here, and you can install it pretty much on any pick rail. So just make sure when you remove the screw, you go ahead and remove the washer too. You're going to want to switch sides. So we'll switch it over and we're going to put it on for left-handed use. Let's go ahead and, I'm going to want to try this thing out. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Alright, and then we can just install the mlok mount. And you just got to tighten the screw down. You got to tighten it a good bit to make it nice and secure. But once you get it all set, it's really nice. And I really can't wait to try this out on the rifle. Man, that just fits nicely in the hand. Okay, so a lot of people, myself included, are going to balk at this setup because it's really not the normal same BCM vertical foregrip that you see on every single other rifle. So what do you say we actually do our due diligence and let's test it? So to install this, we're going to need to remove the rail scale and this BCM grip. So I was thinking we're going to put the mlok right here after I remove those, and then we can put the grip right there. Maybe we can reach the flashlight also. So I think that'd be pretty cool if we set it right here. So let's go ahead and install it and see if we can make that happen. Alright, this is going to be awesome. Alright, so I'm running into some problems here. As you notice, when you go to install the Ryker Grip, now the flashlight's in the way. And I wish I could reach it, because then I could reach the back of the flashlight, but the grip itself's in the way. So I'm going to have to think of something else. Alright, so I've completely redesigned my setup. I have a touchpad next to the Ryker Grip that can activate the flashlight, and now the flashlight's on the other side. So as you can see, I can reach the flashlight using a C-clamp grip, or by using the Ryker Grip. And I can touch both buttons and activate all the switches, What's interesting also is that I can also switch hands if I need to switch shoulders, and I can also use a C-clamp grip and then reach the touchpad to touch the touchpad or to touch the switch. So this is actually a pretty awesome setup, and man, does that Ryker Grip feel pretty amazing. Let's go shoot this thing. So let's do a series of tests, and let's start with the fatigue test. Now, the way the Ryker Grip is set up, their claim is that it uses a different set of muscle groups in order to engage your shoulder so that you can actually hold the rifle longer and then have less fatigue. So let's test and see if that's true. So to start out this test, I did about as many push-ups and pull-ups as I could with my gear on in order to burn up my arms, just thinking to myself that maybe then I wouldn't be standing there for like 10 minutes and we can make it fairly quick. I tested this before attaching the Ryker Grip to the rifle, so let's see how that test went. Can't keep it up much longer. So she said, oh. Well, that was a little bit surprising that I was actually able to hold on for that long. Let's see what we can do now that we have the Ryker grip all set up on the rifle. At the beginning, I can already tell that I'm using some very different muscle groups. I feel like I'm squarer to the target and locked in position. So I think there's some real proof to the pudding when it comes to fatigue. I was able to hold on to the rifle for about 30% longer with the Ryker grip. And I started thinking to myself, well, who could else really benefit from this? Now, before I got into rifles, I was really into competitive archery, and that entire sport was just riddled with shoulder injuries. And I can only imagine as you get older, you're going to lose a lot of muscle strength. So the Ryker grip was going to be extremely good for those individuals who have any sort of shoulder injury or just have a general loss of strength. So let's move on to just standing around my backyard. Let's go do some live fire drills. Now, some of the comments I've seen on other reviews was that, yeah, this Ryker's cool, but it'll never fit inside of a bag. Well, I have to take it to a range, so let's see if it fits in any of my bags. All right, so we got our gun all laid out in our bag, and apparently this won't fit at all, so we'll go ahead and close it up, and okay, well, it just fit just fine, so I don't see any problem there. Maybe they meant two guns. So here we go. We got our 50 Beowulf in here, a nice big one, so we'll slide it in here. So now we got our 50 Beowulf, and then we got our 223 Wylde, so surely this will never close, so don't even try. And I'm really not, if I could just get it closed. Look, okay, I really didn't have any problem with that, so I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe they mean like a precision rifle bag, so let's try this one. So we're going to see if we can fit this in there with the Ryker grip on the front. So we just need to line up the rifle with the bag here. Go ahead and slide it on in, and oh, well, that's a little surprising. It fit just fine. Do you think the bag is going to close? It closes just fine. I don't see what the issue is. So as you can see, it fits in pretty much every bag just fine. Maybe not a big hard case. I will say it would be pretty awesome if Ryker came up with a little quick disconnect for it. I think that would make it easy, and then you could just slap it on and off. So there's an improvement for you. All right, let's go ahead and head out to the range and do our next series of tests. I want to do some up-downs and see how those feel. I want to do some multi-target engagement, and then I want to do some recoil, see if it actually reduces recoil at all. All right, so let's head out there and let's start those up-downs. So one of the first things I noticed when I got to the range and started to do up-downs was that my form seemed to be a lot cleaner. With the C-clamp grip, I wasn't raising the rifle consistently. With the Ryker grip, I just raised my arm straight upward. It also highlights where I have the butt of my rifle placed incorrectly. Even just as a form correctional tool, this thing is fantastic. Now, let's do some live rounds. So the form just felt cleaner, and because the form felt cleaner, I felt more confident in my movements, and then those movements slowly became faster and faster. Now, it was a new muscle movement, so it wasn't something I could just pick up and use. I definitely had to train into it, but you gain this level of confidence very quickly where you're just able to just immediately come up on target. Big fan, yeah, I'm very surprised. All right, so now let's try a different drill. Let's do a multi-target engagement drill and see if we're any faster using the Ryker grip than with my regular BCM. So what we'll do, let's do one shot, 6 total shots, 1 shot on each target alternating, and then let's do 3 rounds of that. All right, let's see how it goes. So again, I felt more confident in my movements. I haven't done a lot of multi-target engagements, which you could probably tell from my training, but I feel like with this tool, I could get much faster when I trained into it. The muscle movements are not natural to what I've been doing, so I'm gonna have to train into that. But I feel like it's so much more comfortable that it would be easier to train into, and if I put a little bit more time and effort into it, I'd be much more accurate and much more quicker than a C-clamp grip. That's just my thoughts. Well, let's go to the third test then, and this claim to fame is the recoil. Now, I don't really have a problem with recoil on an AR-15 or 5.56. It's really not that bad. I've never had any issue with it, but if you want to make it easier, let's see if you can do it. All right, so here we go. We're going to shoot 6 shots I'm going with the cadence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just that same cadence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, trying to fire at that rate. All right, let's do it. So when giving my feedback on recoil, what I don't want to do is tell you what I feel. It feels like less recoil. That doesn't help you at all. In YouTube land, that doesn't tell you anything in terms of some value that will help you. But what it did do is it made me more accurate at speed. So that tells me that there's less movement on the rifle because I'm able to just keep it in position and locked in position faster. I was pretty much ripping those shots off, trying to stay to that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cadence and staying right in an A zone. I'm really happy with how that worked. I have to say that since my accuracy was improved, therefore the recoil reduction was there and I was able to control the rifle better. It felt like it was under control better and it felt awesome. So final thoughts. Let's do pros and cons and then if I recommend it. So pros, I think this thing is probably the best form trainer I've ever seen. I don't think they realize what they have here in terms of an actual form trainer. It's not till you start to use it till you realize, you bring the rifle up and you're like, oh, the stock of the gun is in the wrong place. I need to readjust because when I come up, when I just bring that arm straight up, it's in the wrong position. And you start to clean up your form. Everything starts to feel a lot easier and tighter and simpler to use. So from a form trainer, it's amazing. Now, you may not even want to use this all the time, but just to clean up your form, I highly recommend it. The other big pro that I touched on earlier is those people with injuries or maybe who just has some loss of muscular strength. You're going to find that you may be able to go back into the shooting sports you used to enjoy that then you had to kind of walk away from because of an injury or other issue that now the Ryker Grip is going to be able to let you go back into. I was pretty surprised that I was able to hold the gun even in my shape for 30% longer, and that's after I burned my arms out as long as I could. So definitely impressed. So let's talk about cons. Everything's got a con, right? So I would be a little bit concerned about the grip getting hung up on everything. I wish there was some sort of quick disconnect or easy way to remove it or store it or maybe have some sort of magnetic lock. It would be really cool if they could find some way to just stow it in maybe in a vehicle or just have some quick stow method. I think that's the next level of this product. So do I recommend this? I'm gonna blow my own mind here. Yes, I actually removed my BCM grip, I retransitioned my entire gun, and I like the way it's set up better. I think I'm more consistent, I'm more accurate, and I can put more shots on target using this product. So why would I go back? I'm definitely going to stay with it. So if you're interested in this product, I'm going to put a link to it down below. You can save yourself some money. Use code TLD10. I'm also going to be doing a review of their Sling next, and I'm going to give you a bit of foreshadowing. It makes an insane combination with the two. Where a C-clamp grip, you have your hand out front, the Sling works in combination with the Ryker Grip to really lock you in position. Again, totally blown away. You're going to want to see that one. All right. Well, as always, thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing. I'm going to be doing more cool stuff for you. And thanks to everybody else that you like, comment, and subscribe. Put those comments down below. Tell me if you love the Ryker Grip. Tell me if you hate it. I want to hear it all. Just sound off about it. All right, everybody. Walsh out.